Okay, our objective today is to start reviewing for the final. So I have a couple things to say about this. I know your packet is everything that we've learned this year. I will remind you that the final exam is worth 10% of your grade. Some of you, this really could have an impact on because some of your grades are between letter grades, like an A and a B and a C, C and a D. So if it's between them, this could make or break you moving up. If you stay with me through this packet, so for example, today we're going to do the first part of it. I'm going to review parts of it, and you're going to have time to work in class on it. If you stay with me and ask any questions you need to on that particular section, the final exam is not difficult. But you have to bear with me. I know this is not going to be fun. We're going to spend a week and a half on this packet. Also, try not to lose it because, as you can see, there's a lot of pages on it. We are starting the final exam on Tuesday, May 29th. So starting the final exam on Tuesday, May 29th. Okay? That's your biology exam? I thought you guys were taking the biology one until June. I wonder why. Oh. What are you guys doing in biology the last week then? Oh. Yeah, but you know what though? The math one should not be too bad either, so you'll be fine. And the math final is going to be taken over like 4 or 5 days. What I'm going to do is, if you guys came in, let's say it was today, I'll say, okay, I'm going to grade numbers 1 through 20. So like I'll break it off into sections so you know how to pace yourself. And I'm going to grade it as we're going so you can see how you're doing as we're going. Okay, and I'll explain that once we get to it. That way it's not so bad for me to grade them and it's not so bad and overwhelming for you when you go to take it. So anyways, this is all we're doing the rest of the year. So bear with me. There's not any other new material. I will check this for homework points. So, you know, it might be worth 6 points, it might be worth 8 points, because I know some of you guys could use the extra points in your grade. Okay? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start. You don't have to write this stuff down unless you want to, but before I do that, there are some mistakes that I need you to fix, and then we're going to do some review problems. So I need you to cross off on the review packet numbers 50. So I need everyone to flip to the review packet to number 50. Number 50, John. Number. I need you to cross off. We are not going to ever do numbers 50, 66, 68, and all the way up to number 204. So we are not ever going to do any of those 4 numbers. 50, 66, 68, and 204. After you cross those off, number 111 should say prove that x is, bless you, x is less than 1/2 instead of what it currently says. So number 111 should say x is less than 1/2 instead of what it currently says. There's a mistake on there. And then the last thing is numbers 212 and 247 should have a scale by 2, which means when you graph those parabolas, I think they're both parabolas, the scale should be by 2s. So your graph should go 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. Does anyone need to repeat any of that? Those are the only mistakes. Okay, did everyone get everything? Bear with me. I'm not looking forward to this either. Bear with me. Okay, I just want to do a verbal review of 3 problems. So if you don't remember it, if you want to write it down, you may, but this is all in your Chapter 9 note packet. Does anyone remember how to do this? Yep, Tori? Nope, careful. Good, so write it twice. Good job. After you write it twice, Angela, good, FOIL. So we would do first, outer, inner, last. I'm not going to go through that whole FOIL, but do you guys remember how to FOIL? Okay. So binomial squared, write it twice, and then FOIL. There's a couple problems like that. Okay, what is this? How do you, it would say factor. So Kate, what kind of factoring problem? Awesome. Difference of perfect squares. So you'll make two binomials. Angela? Okay. Good job. So 1 plus 1 minus, square root each term. That's the answer. What should we always ask ourselves, though, for any I just said it. What should we always ask ourselves for any factoring problem? Tori? Yeah, sorry. Is there a GCF? So always ask yourself first, is there a greatest common factor? I don't care if it's 1. Always ask yourself that question, especially in your next couple years of math in high school. Always ask yourself that. Okay, last one that I want to go over with you. This one would also say factor. So what would we do first on this one? Tori? Good. On this one, we would take out a -2 first. So we're left with x squared plus 5x plus 6. What kind of factoring problem is left inside parentheses, Zach? It's a trinomial. This was the one you guys didn't like at first, but then you got really good at it. Carly? Good. It's AC grouping. So this is when I made a little chart and I told you you need to find what multiplies to give you A times C, and you need to find what adds to give you B. Do you guys kind of remember that? So A times C is 1 times 6, which is 6. B is 5. What multiplies to give you 6 but adds to give you 5? Okay, good. 3 and 2. So we would use 3 times 2, because 3 times 2 is 6. 3 plus 2 is 5. What do we do with those numbers? Where do we put them? Hopefully you guys remember this. Jake? Good. Cross off the middle term. Ignore the GCF for now. And you write 3x plus 2x in the middle. Oh. 3x plus 2x in the middle. And then when you have 4 terms, what's that called? Kelvin? Begins with a G. Okay. Chase? Grouping. Very good. Group the first 2, group the second 2, take out the GCF, you're left with x plus 3. Take out the GCF, you're left with x plus 3. Now what? Angela, now what? Awesome. And then make sure you put your GCF back in front, which I forget to do sometimes. That's the answer. Good job. You guys did pretty well with remembering that. And you might be surprised. I know this was from September, but we spent a long time on a lot of these problems. You may remember most of this for the first part. Okay, so here's what I want you guys to do. You have about 23 minutes. I want you just for tomorrow to complete up through 36. I reviewed 3 things that I thought maybe you might forget. There are exponents in there are radicals, and there's factoring. There are also some problems you have to add and subtract polynomials. Please remember, when you're adding like terms, do not add exponents. When you're subtracting like terms, do not add exponents. The only time you add exponents is when you multiply. So keep that in mind. Stay with me through this. I'm going to walk around once I stop the recording, and if you guys are stuck on something, forget something, if your note packet doesn't help you, which most of this is in the Chapter 9 notes, you can ask a neighbor or put your hand up and I will be over. So for now, I want you to work on your own because I want to see how much you guys know of this first part. And yes, as time goes on, we'll do more of this in groups and in partners. Final exam we will start it on May 29th. Okay? All right, so go ahead and get started. If you guys get further, that's okay because we're about